Alright guys, imagine you are in a bar. You see that beautiful girl on the bar, maybe buying a drink, maybe talking to a friend or whatever she's doing. You see a beautiful girl and I'm there with you and I tell you, hey man.
I think you're ready, pal.
For what?
To talk to a pretty lady. And
why don't you approach her? First thing that's gonna go on in most people's head is,
you know what? Just because I've watched you pick up women doesn't mean that I know how to pick up women.
what's the best time to approach? What's the best way of approaching her so that she gives me the good response? How do I impress her? How do I walk in completely smoothly so that she doesn't feel awkward or she doesn't feel scared? And one thing I want to tell you guys is there is no best way of approaching. There is no one set method that is going to get you a result every time. Now definitely there are some good ways and there are some bad ways, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. Now let's talk about the bad ways first. So bad way is something that I see most men doing, especially in India. Bad way is definitely the creepy way of approaching a girl from behind, trying to dance with her and trying to, grind her from behind. And that's what 90% of the population does. And that's a bad way. But apart from that, there are some bad ways of approaching even when you're aware about pickup. And you might not be aware about all of this because when you're a beginner, when you're a newbie, and I've been guilty of that too, you're so nervous, you're so scared, you're not doing pickup. It's not coming from a happy place. Alright, it's not like, hey, I'm enjoying pickup. It's more like, hey, I'm shit nervous. I don't know what she's gonna say. I don't know how she's gonna react to me. And with that nervousness, there are a few things that you might overlook when you're approaching a girl. Now, the first thing I see a lot of guys, a lot of beginners messing up on is they go up to the bar, alright, they go to the bar, they start scanning around. They start scanning around like some hunters, and I see this all over, man. I go out, I see this all over. I exactly know how many people are gonna do pickup, how many people are there with the purpose of pickup. Because those guys are gonna be standing on the corner, maybe with a guy with a wing, and they're gonna be just searching around the fucking venue. And if you're searching around the fucking venue, your value goes down. And I've mentioned this multiple times before, guys. Do not do this mistake. Whenever you're going out, try not to look around. Try to have faith in your peripheral vision. Try to learn about observation. Try to learn about memory so you know. Once you've walked, from point A to point B, and that's what I usually do. I'm not looking around here and there. I'm walking from point A to point B. Maybe I'm walking from the washroom to the bar, all right? And I see, okay, these are the amount of girls that are over there, but I'm never looking around. I'm never turning my neck. I'm just trusting my peripheral vision. I'm trusting my memory. And I'm just going to the bar and I'm just looking around, okay? I've just looked around. No one gets to know, all right? I'm not losing value. Because when other girls are looking at you, checking out other girls, and after that you approach them, you're going to lose a lot of value. They're probably going to reject you because they've seen you looking around, alright? When people are outside, they're probably looking at each other. But when I'm outside, I'm just looking at my wing. Maybe I'm talking to my wing, maybe I'm talking to the bartender, maybe I'm talking to the management. But I'm never looking around at girls, okay, which girl is an easy target to approach. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand, looking around doesn't get you anywhere. It's going to increase the probability of you getting ignored. It's going to increase the probability of girl rejecting you, but it's not going to increase your success rate. Now that being said, once you've seen your target, once you have noticed, okay, this is the girl I want to approach. The second mistake most guys do is when they approach her, they invade her personal space. They don't give any space because they're too nervous, and especially with beginners, I see this a lot of times. When we're going to approach, you guys are too nervous that you're not giving her any space. Either you're investing too much in the conversation, you're giving her too much value in the start, you're asking her too much question. Most approaches are question mode, like interview mode, like, hey, what's your name? Hey, I find you cute. So that is a wrong approach again because you're asking for too much compliance initially. You're asking the girl to tell you everything about her. She doesn't even know you. Apart from that, you're not giving her any chance to invest. And this I've seen a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this too. When I was learning pickup, I used to go up to a girl, I used to talk to her, but I didn't give her any chance to invest back in the conversation because I was so nervous. I thought if I stop investing in the conversation, then the girl probably is not going to give me anything, and she's not going to get attracted because I have to do to keep her attracted. And that's again coming from a place of scarcity. That's again coming from a place which is sort of wrong because if you keep on investing in the conversation, it's a one-sided conversation. The girl also has to invest in the conversation so she can be emotionally engaged and emotionally hooked to the conversation. And a lot of guys, even before approaching, they're thinking about the best time to approach. Hey, maybe she's talking to a friend, maybe she's busy right now. Hey, maybe she's having an intense conversation. Guys, it does not fucking matter. The girl wants to talk to a guy who has that burning desire for her. Alright, she doesn't want to talk to a guy who's going to take all the fucking time in the world for her to get free. And I've seen this over and over again in the boot camps as well. I'm telling a client, hey man, why don't you approach that girl? Hey, but she's paying her bill. Maybe she's calling a cab. Maybe she's on the call. Guys, it does not fucking matter.
Wait, I'll call you back. Okay? सुन रहा है? बाद में करती हूँ. हाँ, चल bye.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from
It doesn't fucking matter. Even if she's on a call, she's gonna hang up. If she meets a cool guy, if she meets a guy who she's actually attracted to, who she can see, okay, this guy actually has a desire to know me. He's not just doing it just because he wants to do it or because he wants to get laid, but he actually wants to know me. Once the girl feels that, she's gonna hang up the call, and that has happened multiple times with me. So if you're doing something like that, guys, don't think about the best time, because there is no best time. Alright, you have to understand it. As soon as you see the girl, you have to approach her within 3 seconds. Actually, I would say whenever you see her, just approach her within 0 seconds, because that is the time. The more you look at her, the more you observe her, the more you follow her around, and a lot of people are guilty of doing this, and don't do that. That's going to get you arrested. That is going to land you in situations where you don't want to go, when you're stalking the girl, or that's called stalking, guys. So don't try to follow the girl, don't try to look at the girl more than a second before you approach her, because all of that, you're going to lose a lot of value. Now that is the bad way of approaching a girl. What is a good way of approaching a girl? A good way of approaching a girl is going up to a girl whenever you see a target, or when you see a hot girl, attractive girl, walk up to her. Instead of asking her to comply for something, just try to go out there and come with a frame of check this shit out. Have an inside joke with a wing, alright? Maybe you're alone. Say something funny. Rather than just trying to leech fun from her, say something funny. Invite her to your party, alright? And when I see a girl, instead of walking up to her and asking her, hey, you seem kind of cute, what's your name? I'm more like, hey, listen, I'm already having fun, why don't you check this shit out? Alright? Maybe I have an inside joke with my wing. Maybe I'm with a guy who's really obese. I'd be like, hey, listen, this guy is pregnant and he says it's my baby. Can you touch and feel it? Right? That's more like check this shit out. I'm not asking for something. I'm not asking for a good reaction. If she says, no, I don't want to check out the baby, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm hurt. I'm butthurt. Maybe I can do that as self-amusement. Guys, you have to understand, the more amused you are, the more happy you are when you're in the field, and that completely relates to your inner game, because inner game is more important than outer game, and I'll make a completely separate video on that. But for now, you have to understand, outer game is basically what you're doing in the field, approaching the girls, talking to them, whatever. But if internally you're not feeling good, internally if your state is not pumped, internally if you're not amusing yourself, the girls will not be able to relate with your energy, because every girl is going out there to have fun. And if you're having more fun than them, then definitely they will get sucked into your frame. So that's what you need to do. You need to have an inside joke. Maybe you need to make everything funny, and that's what I do, and that's the only way I've continued doing pickup for 10 plus years now, because if I don't make this shit funny, it's very repetitive, and if it's repetitive, I will not like to do it every fucking night. So make sure when you're going out to the field, when you're talking to girls, make it fun for you, alright? Make it amusing for you. Maybe you can have a joke, maybe you can say something obnoxious to get out of your head, and I used to do that when I used to go out alone. I used to meet a girl and I used to have this backstory, like how I am a gay porn star for a South Indian film or some shit, right? And I would just, I would just see if the girl is believing it. And the more she believes it, the more funnier it gets for me. And this is just my fucked up humor, so you might have a different humor, you might not relate with it. So try to find out what's your humor and try to make the interaction fun for you. Now, after 1 year of gaming constantly, I realized game was not fun for me, alright? I used to get rejected. I used to come home and think, what am I doing? I'm going out every fucking night. I'm approaching 30 to 40 girls every day and night. I'm getting rejected probably like 28, 30 approaches. That was the first year for me. And maybe I'm having a success like twice in a month or thrice in a month, and that's nothing, right? That's nothing considering the amount of approaches I'm doing. 7 days into 40, that's crazy amount of approaches. So I was doing a lot of approaches and I was getting rejected left, right, and center, and I was like, okay. I used to come home and I used to think like, hey, is this even worth it? And a lot of guys, I'm sure, who have done a couple of approaches might come home, maybe you've done 5-10 approaches, and that state crash can come at any point of time. So that used to happen with me. After 1 year, I just realized, if I don't make this shit fun for me, I'm probably gonna quit it. So now I don't want to worry about getting the numbers. Now I don't worry about getting late for 1 month. All I want to do is go out and have a good conversation with a girl. Have a good conversation, maybe turn her on through the conversation, maybe have fun with her and make the conversation more fun for me, or else I'm going to quit game because it's so stressful. And the first year was like that. The second year, guys, this was the biggest revelation probably I had in my whole gaming career, because once I started going out and I stopped caring about the numbers, stopped caring about the pulls. Again, it was only for a month, alright? It was only for a month, because if you completely stop caring about all of that, you might become a dancing monkey, which might not get you any results as well. So for a month, I just focused on making the conversation amusing for me. And guys, in that 1 month, I got more numbers than I got in the whole 6 months. Last 6 months, I got more girls home than I got in the previous whole 1 year probably. And I just realized, okay, something just clicked, something, and that was that I'm having fun while doing pickup. Now, after that, the compound effect of this revelation was when I'm sitting at home, I'm like, hey, I really want to go out and pick up. Now, once I go out, again, my number of approaches increased, because now pickup was not a stress for me. It was not something I had to do, but it was something I wanted to do. Earlier, even after pushing myself, I would just do like maybe like 5 to 10 approaches, 20 approaches, and maximum 40 approaches. But when I started enjoying pickup, I realized, okay, now I just have to go out, and I could not stop doing the approaches. I would just say like, oh, if I'm pulling a girl, I would be like, oh, I'm pulling a girl too fast. Maybe I want to do some more approaches. Maybe I should stay in the field. Maybe I'll take a number right now. And all of that used to happen once I actually started enjoying pickup. So my advice for you would be, stop thinking about the best opener. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself that, hey, I need to think about the best opener. I need to be the smoothest guy in the club. I need to roll up like James Bond or something. Stop thinking about all of that, because that is going to make pickup stressful for you. Instead, start thinking about how you can make pickup more fun for you, how you can start actually enjoying pickup, whether it's finding a friend who you want to do it with, whether it's going out alone and saying obnoxious shit to get out of your head, whether it's playing with the girl, whatever is fun for you. Try to find that sweet spot so that you can actually make this thing fun for you, and it's not a task that you're doing on a Friday or a Saturday night. Also, once you make it fun for you, try to work on your mindset. Now I see a lot of guys, who are going out with wings and thinking, hey, going out with a wing, so might as well just put all the pressure of doing the approach on him. And this is a weak mindset, guys. So try to build that mindset, and how you build that mindset that is why one of the reasons why no, you will never see a wing with me when I'm out in the field. Alright, maybe you've seen me in some bars, maybe you've seen me in some clubs in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Goa, and you will never see a wing with me. You'll probably see a couple of women with me, or a wing woman, or me being alone, because I have this mindset that if I'm going with a wing, I always have to do the first approach. And that's a very opposite mindset of what most people have. Is like, but what I see with my clients, my students, people outside, I meet a lot of people outside, so I see that they're like, hey, I'm with the wing, so I'm waiting for him to do the first approach. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Is that the reason you have a wing, to make shit so easy for you? You think game is going to be easy just because you have a wing and he's going to do the first approach? You think that's going to get you laid? That's a completely wrong mindset to have, because in game, the mindset is to go against resistance, alright? Build a bulletproof mindset that you actually want to go against resistance. For that, I have a rule. No matter who the wing is, I'm always going to be doing the first approach. And sometimes I don't even give the opportunity to my wing to do the approach. That's why a lot of people cannot wing me. A lot of people get angry at me real quick, and I don't give a shit about that. I'm there to work on my game. I'm not there to build this kind of a brotherhood, though I would appreciate, if I'm doing game with a friend, to have that kind of a brotherly relationship. But when I'm out in the field, I'm out in the field as a shark. I'm there to game. I'm there to learn about my social skills. I'm there to sharpen my blade rather than just having a good conversation with the wing. So don't have that weak mindset, alright? Just when you're going out with someone, try to always do the first approach. Now I see a lot of guys are going to watch this, and a lot of wings are going to get disturbed, but it doesn't matter, guys. You are doing game. You're investing your time. You're going to a pickup location. Maybe it's a mall, maybe it's a club, maybe it's a bar, maybe it's a street. You're taking time, 2 to 3 hours out of your life just to go there and just to learn social skills. And at that time, if you're just talking to your wing, or if you're just having a fun conversation waiting for him to approach, that's not the best use of your time, and you are just lying to yourself. So don't lie to yourself. When you're going out, have a sharp mindset, and I'm going to make a video on this as well. But for now, just understand that don't have a weak mindset. Try to build up on your mindset. Try to have rules for your game to build up your mindset. And rules will begin, from very basic. For me, initially, the rules were, if I approach a girl, I will stand my ground. I will stand my ground because it's a free country. Because a lot of people, when they approach a girl, they eject early. Because of their beliefs, because they think that the girl is not interested in them, or whatever. And that was my problem too. So I had a rule: as soon as I approach a girl, I'm going to stand my ground, because it's a free country. I'm not doing anything wrong. And the second rule was, as soon as I see a beautiful girl and I notice myself looking at her, I will approach her. And this is why I don't look around in the club. So these kind of rules you can make for yourself, and I would suggest making 10 rules according to what you think is your limiting factor in game. For me, I had an awareness that I'm not staying in the interaction too long. I'm checking out too many girls. I'm taking too much time as soon as I reach the venue to do my first approach. So I had a rule: as soon as I reach the venue, I should do my first approach. Alright, so write down 10 rules for your own game, and I'm sure that is definitely going to help you build an impeccable mindset. Now, once you do the approach, you might get stuck on what to say, how to vibe with the girl, how to turn her on through your conversations. Guys, I've written a book for it. It's a completely free ebook that you can go onto the website and you can download it. I'll make sure to add it in the pinned comment section below. This is going to be extremely helpful. And guys, it's free for a limited time only. So go to the pinned comment section, click on the link, and download the free ebook. And it's going to be really helpful. Now, that being out of the way, let's talk about what you should do when you reach the club and when you want to do the approach. As soon as you reach the club, what you should do, a step-by-step method to get you in that social momentum. The first thing I used to do earlier when I was learning game was, I used to approach a girl and I used to say a lot of obnoxious shit. I used to go to her because I wanted to get rejected. Alright, because I knew, okay, the first few approaches are not gonna go as I want them to go, so might as well go there, say so much shit and get rejected. Shit, I didn't mean I want to offend the girl, but shit, I meant shit that's a amusing for me, shit that's gonna get me going, get me laughing, so that I can get out of my head. I don't have to take it so seriously. And guys, I realized after having that kind of a mindset that I want to go there to get rejected, the first approach was usually successful. It was usually successful because I didn't care about the girl. I was more focused on enjoying the conversation, and you'll realize that too. So always go in the bar, go in the club, and do the first approach to get rejected. Alright, do the first approach, and I would just do various things. Like I would be like, okay, I want to approach the most beautiful girl in the bar or the club because I want to get rejected in the first approach. So let's see. And what it did for me was it helped me get out of my head. I was not nervous, I was not scared anymore, and it made the rest of the approaches very easy for me. And apart from that, even the first approach was usually successful. Now that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is interact with the staff over there. I know a lot of people are beginners, probably going out to a bar alone. A lot of people might not be regular at bars or clubs, and if you're going just with the sole purpose of approaching, and a lot of times maybe you really don't want to approach anyone as soon as you hit the bar. So for that reason, I would suggest, instead of thinking of approaching girls, try approaching the staff over there. Try approaching the managers, the bouncers, the nightlife people, the DJs, the bartenders, because guys, you have to understand that will make shit a lot easier for you, as these guys have to respond to you because they're working over there, and you don't have that mindset over there that you're doing something weird. Instead of that, you're just having a conversation with them, you're just building that relatability with them, and apart from that, you're building social proof in the long term. And what I mean by social proof is, in the long term, if you keep on doing this, everyone will know you in the bar, alright? Everyone will know you in the club, and when you're with a girl and you're shaking hands with everyone, that is going to build massive social proof, which means that the girl is going to think, okay, this guy actually knows a lot of people, and this thing will help you pull a lot faster. Apart from that, guys, it will help you sort out your entries. You will be able to enter bars, clubs without any problems. So make it a subconscious habit. Make it a habit. As soon as you go into the bar, approach at least 3 to 4 people of the staff, talk to them, have a small talk with them, have a basic conversation with them, and then start hitting on girls. Alright, start talking to girls, start talking to 2 sets or single sets, whatever is comfortable for you initially. And I would also suggest, if you're still not in the zone where you think that, okay, I can talk to 1 girl or 2 girls, start talking to guys. Alright, start talking to guys. You don't have to hit on them, you don't have to take them home. Start talking to guys and start introducing yourself to the girls with them. All you need to do is talk to a guy. Hey, it's nice to meet you. Hey man, nice shoes, matches the shirt. Anyways, my name is Arunav. Whoa, I'm so sorry I didn't introduce myself. Then talk to the girl a little bit and leave the conversation. You don't have to put pressure on yourself that I have to get the girl's number, I have to take the girl home. Don't put any of such pressure on yourself. Instead, just leave the conversation. And later on, you can re-engage them throughout the night. And then, once you've done a couple of approaches like this, you're probably in the momentum now. So now it's time to approach girls. Now it's time to approach 1 sets, 2 sets, maybe a big group of girls, whatever you think is comfortable, whatever you think is right for you at that point of time, according to the situation, just go ahead and do that approach. Once you follow this whole pattern, your warm-up would be complete in no time, and I'm sure you will feel much better, and you'll feel that you're in a social state, which means that you'll be in the momentum to talk to anyone and everyone. And this will also help you build a lot of networking contacts. This will also help you improve your dating life. And apart from that, this will also help you do a lot more approaches than you actually do when you're just going out. Because I asked a guy last time I was in the field, asked him, hey man, how many approaches did you do? Like, hey man, it's my second day coming to a bar and I've just done 2 approaches. Now guys, if you're wasting 3 to 4 hours, you're making the mindset of going to a bar, maybe you're spending some money to go there, I don't know, right? 2 or 3 approaches is not enough. Alright, 2 or 3 approaches is not enough at all. So make sure you do at least 5 to 10 approaches whenever you're going out, at least, guys, and that's also a rookie number. I'm just saying it so that you can follow it for now. So I hope you learned something about the best way of approaching a girl in the bar. This is your coach Arunav, and I hope to see you in the field.